Right. Hey everyone, welcome. I am so excited to have here today Liz and Matthew Hammond, who are just killing it on the online space. Thank you
Killing it.
so much for being here.
It's great to be here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And they're also Waldorf parents, which I am as well. So I just had to put that little plug in for that. My love for Waldorf. Um,
Yes.
so I would just, yeah, we share that for sure. So I would love
Can
just to
you
start
hear
off.
that phone in the background? This is real life. I'm gonna go shut that phone off. This is real
Okay,
life here, folks. This is how it
right,
happens.
right, right. Yeah, this is not some super special like studio type of performance.
No, real life folks around here.
Yeah,
It might come in behind us as well.
yeah, exactly. You never know.
You never know.
Right.
So, yeah, I just would love to start off by just, if you could tell me a little bit about your current, where you live, if you, what your, if you have family, kids, what you do, different things that you might do for a living, because nowadays we might have like multiple jobs. I interviewed someone yesterday who has 4 jobs, 4 ways of earning an income. So yeah, would love to hear from you about that, just so people can orient themselves. Yeah.
Yeah.
Elizabeth, no, Liz, you go first, man.
All right.
Please.
Well, I am Liz Hammond, married to this guy, Matthew
This
Hammond.
guy.
And we live in Orangevale, California. We've been here for about 4 years. We came here for Waldorf education. We were in Montana before that. We came from Austin, Texas.
We were there for 7 years.
For 7 years.
All 3 kids were.
Yeah,
Wow.
and there's free Waldorf charters here in California. So we actually came here for our children so they could attend Waldorf school for free. And yeah, and we're loving it. And I have been a massage therapist
A really, really good one.
for 20 years. And I actually
Wow.
retired from massage therapy, and I'm just working online now and digital
Wow.
attraction marketing.
Awesome.
Yeah, that was like the first victory lap for us in this business was her ability to retire from massage therapy.
Yeah.
Which means more massages for me and our children, which I'm really happy about. Because, I was getting to the point after 3 kids, and it was like, I get a massage on my birthday and Christmas, and that was about it. So we
Right.
had to change that up. We had to change that up.
Yeah.
I'm Matthew Hammond. Oh, wow. I've been a bit of a serial entrepreneur, but also a teacher. I almost feel like teaching and entrepreneurship really go hand in hand, because if you manage a classroom and you're working with students, which are like your clients, and your business is the information that you're sharing, you're always looking for new ways to package it because so the kids will pay attention. For me, it was mostly middle school and high school, and everything from history, creative writing, literature, environmental science. That's my background, but I'm also a professional musician. And what happened for me is I got tired of putting everyone else's story and everyone's music and presenting it and supporting it and not doing my own. I'm a songwriter. So when we were in Austin, I started this songwriting business and a crowdfunding label for artists in the Austin area to be able to produce their music.
Wow.
And had spectacular success with it, and then spectacular failure. Like one day I was doing great funding, and then the rug was pulled out, economic collapse, and boom. It was,
Wow. Yep. Is that the Great Recession you're talking about in 2000?
that was part of it. It was kind of the aftershocks of the Great Recession.
Yep. Yep.
No, actually, I started the crowdfunding record label during the recession. But they always say the best time to start something new is when everything's collapsed.
Yep.
I really believe that.
Yep.
And what's interesting, that led me eventually, when we moved to Sacramento, to start teaching music lessons. And then people said, well, how do you write songs? Can you teach us how to write our own songs? I thought, yeah, I could do that. And I did this for adults and mostly for kids. And it's funny, all those prior experiences of being in the studio, recording, arranging, songwriting led me to like, hey, I could teach this to kids from like 8-year-olds up to 80 years old.
Wow.
So that's what I've been doing here. And then I was a full-time teacher for a bit because of the stable salary.
Yep.
I've been able to retire from that and just, offer lessons and workshops.
Wow.
And really, I have to thank Liz here, because we're like, how can we do my teaching online? How can we offer these songwriting workshops and courses online because I had people moving out to the East Coast. We're in California, I think, as Liz mentioned, and also to Europe and Asia. I'm like, hey, can you teach me online? I was like, well, I don't know, what kind of platform do I use? So Liz started researching.
Also, I was thinking, like, it would be nice to just world school our children. That's always been a huge dream of ours.
Oh, nice.
To have the freedom to just live anywhere, and for him to be able to do his music online. So.
But to do it in a way where, for a lot of musicians and artists out there, it's really hard to make a consistent living where you can depend on the money month in, month out. You have great months and you'll have nothing. Then you have great months. And when you have 3 kids like we have, tell them, supportive wife, that really stressful.
Very stressful.
Very stressful.
Yes.
So we had to find a vehicle that we're like, hey, if I want to offer my workshops for free, I can. We won't have to depend on them for our, economic well-being. Which is what led us to.
So how did you find this platform?
Yeah, this is all you, babe, because you get all the credit.
So I was just scrolling on Facebook one night, and I was invited to the Conscious Entrepreneur Collective, and it's a Facebook group where a lot of our tribe is in there, and you get to see what everybody is up to and their backgrounds, and they're sharing what they're doing online. And there's a lot of coaches and healers in there. And so I really resonated and was listening to everything that they were saying about being able to bring your gifts online and whatever it is that you're sharing with the world. And then being able to be backed up by this economic engine that can get your gifts up and running and support you.
The affiliate offer, because you got, all podcasts, all really highly supported broadcasts are supported by some kind of advertising or affiliate. They don't make money on people going to watch it on YouTube or on Facebook. It's the eyeballs that they get and the attraction that is backed up by the affiliate offer. That's the economic engine right there.
Right. So I was hearing about this and I was like, wow, this sounds really interesting. Yeah. And I really thought about it just for Matthew. I was like, he could do this. This would be great for him because he could come online, and he has so many gifts to share. I mean, not just music, but I mean, spiritually speaking, and just the way that he's able to come across with his word, like, speaks to so many people. So I was just like, this would be an incredible platform for him.
And then ironically, it really became about you, which I love. I mean, this resonated so much with you, Liz, and what it brought out of you.
At first he was like, I don't know about this.
I was really skeptical, like, come on. This is like, this is too good to be true. There's gotta be a cap, right? Yep. That sound familiar, Kristen? Yeah.
Totally.
Really resonating with me. Like, I was vibrating and shaking practically. It was like the universe was just like, you have to do this.
So this is the girl, since we have 3 kids, she usually, like, 11 o'clock, she turns into a pumpkin, right? Like, when we were dating and first married, she could stay up till midnight, 1 with me, because I'm a notorious night owl. Most musicians are. Yep. And all of a sudden, she's like, 1 o'clock, I just can't, I want to keep reading. I want to keep watching these videos. I'm like, babe, what's going on here? Who is this? Truly.
Wow.
Really inspired. So
amazing.
That's how I found it. And
so if anyone here is interested in the Conscious Entrepreneur Collective, please let me know too, because it is an amazing group where you can really get a sense of what this business is all about, for sure. Yeah.
And then,
go ahead.
One more thing, Kristen.
Yeah.
So, we all just went to Australia. Kristen went, and we have this incredible tribe of healers, teachers, musicians, artists, business people, tech people, programmers, like you name it, hospital workers, across the gamut. Many of them parents like us, And the thing about it is that you meet them in person. You meet online, a lot of these people online, and like, wow, they seem so amazing. And then Kristen, right? You meet them in person in Australia, and they're multiple times better in person.
Yeah, for sure. So what converted you then, Matthew? So what was the shifting point from the skepticism to like, this is kind of interesting after all.
That's a really good question. So I feel like a lot of us males out there, especially that are in partnerships, if we don't discover it ourselves, it's kind of like, well, I didn't discover it. I mean, how good could it really be? There's that pride.
Not my idea.
Yeah, it wasn't my idea, because I've been kind of the entrepreneur in our relationship. And so for her to bring it to me and to see, it was, as I said, too good to be true.
Yeah.
But I kept watching. I kept
There's
looking.
so many different things online, you
Yeah.
know, so
Yeah.
it's hard to
Right,
trust.
totally.
You know.
But this was different. And I think because of its emphasis on the spiritual self-development work, like that was legit, like the gratitude practice,
Yeah.
meditation. And then when they talk about, I remember Brooke March, when I first saw her, she goes, 80% of this business is personal development. 20% is the nuts and bolts and the, getting your web page or your Facebook page and the affiliate offer. I'm like, man, if that were the truth, I'm in. Because that's what we're about.
Yeah.
Because I really believe that, love is really why we're here. Like I'm really about divine love, and that we're vehicles for that. And whatever we do, whatever business should be a reflection of that. And so I wanted to believe that. And then people like Brooke March and Noelle O. Foster, who actually brought us in, they proved it to be true. I just couldn't get enough of it. I looked over, I think for me, I realized that they were consistent in their message. And then when I heard about economically what you can do, that you can make 6 figures, 7 figures, I saw the checks. And then I saw the checks. I saw the money. So that's where the rubber meets the road. Like, whoa, this is for real.
Once a check came in, he was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're actually
I'm in. I'm in it to win it.
Yeah.
And that just within a couple of years, you stick with the business, you can have a legacy income. A legacy, like guaranteed income every month. I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
We're doing, and then you're doing a service to the world. What you offer is a service.
Yeah.
It's everybody needs it. So, Kristen, I'm that typical male. It took me about a month and a half of letting the pride away. And honestly, just seeing how lit up you were. I just loved seeing a hop in her step. And she's like, I really think this is our vehicle. I really think. And then finally, I signed on, and we haven't looked back. It's been almost 7 months now.
Yeah.
Wow, amazing. So you mentioned Australia. Like, I would love to hear from both of you. Like we had this big event called Freedom Fest. 800 people attended, plus live stream with a few hundred more people. Yeah. Like, what did you take out of that? What did you come back home with? What were some of your biggest lessons from Freedom Fest?
Yeah, well, honestly, I am an introvert. And so when I first saw this business and I saw everyone getting on camera and speaking, that's why I was like, this is going to be for him.
It's a natural fit for me. But
this is not going to be for me.
It scared the crap out of you, actually.
Yeah, I was just like, oh my God, I don't think I can do this, but he can do this. So
this is
I'm doing it for him.
Yeah.
So it's been really challenging for me, and all that personal growth development that I've really been working through this past 7 months has transformed my life. It's transformed me in so many ways. And I just made myself, get on lives on my Facebook page and just made myself do it. And I still don't like it.
Yeah, but you've gone from like shaking and having, cold, clammy hands to like, she owns it now. I mean, months later, she's in it.
I'm much better when I'm with him, though. When I'm still doing it by myself, I feel like I'm tripping over my words. I feel like my brain is not connecting and it's not coming out correctly. So I had a lot of that come up for me at Freedom Fest. Just the feelings of not being good enough or not being liked because I'm too introverted and I don't speak beautifully like my husband does and like all of these other leaders do that are up on the stage. But the one thing that Preston Smiles was saying, I have it written down here, he said that practice makes progress.
Yeah.
Progress makes confidence. And he was an amazing speaker. I really loved him. I took so much away from what he shared. But that was one thing where I was like, and it's true, like the more you practice, the better you get, and then the easier it is, and then the more you can share your gift with the world, because even us introverts, we have a lot of gifts to share with the world, even though it's hard for us to speak them, you know. We'd rather write them instead of speak them. So so that was one of my big takeaways.
Oh, that's amazing. So it's about progress to get to your gifts, to share them, like rather than like practice to make perfect, right? It's really about sharing who you are. Beautiful. I love that. It's so awesome, Liz. Yeah.
Thank you.
And you'll notice she didn't say the word perfection one time. Because we've been sold this bill of goods, Kristen, about, it's all about, you have to be as perfect as possible. I remember when social media first had its heyday back in like 2007, 2008, right? Facebook it was Facebook and what was the other service? MySpace. They were like neck and neck.
Right.
But I remember it was like putting up the perfect People magazine front, and you didn't want to look like National Enquirer. You wanted to look like in style. You know, and everyone's putting up all their best shots, and honestly, that was a bunch of bullshit, and we all knew that. So that got old after a few years, and now what I love it, you know, in the age of Brene Brown, who teaches the art of vulnerability. It was one of the #1 TED Talks of all time. Brene Brown, look it up if you haven't seen it.
Right.
The power of vulnerability. And can I tell you something? Introverts naturally have this sense of vulnerability and their place in the world, and we need to hear it. We need to hear.
Yeah.
So it's really about iterations. Just be a part of the process and trust that the perfection will take care of itself. But forget about perfection. You know?
Totally. Forget it.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah. So what about you, Matthew? What did you take away from Freedom Fest?
Man, so many things. About one thing, there's this young woman, I think she's 26 or 27. Her name is Nicole Gibson. And she has this organization called LOL. Instead of laugh out loud, it's love out loud. And this woman is like 26, 27, going on 55. She's just like part Christ, part Buddha, and part 100% Australian, right? And she's Australian, right? Is she Australian?
She is, but she lives in LA.
But she lives in Santa Monica. I know. I always notice there's some California drifting in her accent there.
Yeah.
But guys, you've got to check her out, because her whole point was love isn't just a nice lofty notion. Love isn't something that, okay, we just write poems about and songs about. Love is our business. Love is our plan. Love is the whole reason we do what we do. And your whole business plan has to be around that, front and center. And when you have someone out there who lives from that moment to moment, and who's been successful in her coaching business and has been successful in her consulting. She was a high commissioner in Australia for cultural affairs and whatnot at a very young age. She's been through the rigors. She's, been through abuse, drug abuse, eating disorders, everything, wanting to commit suicide. Yep. She's been through it all. And she reemerged from these crises, this exalted being, like we all are. But most of us try to cover it up because we want to only show the perfect parts. And she's so vulnerable and open that she just disarms you. I felt my heart going, just cracking open.
Yeah, she was incredible.
And so to have her verbalize and embody everything that I've said about all these years, but sometimes I'm sporadic about it, it made me want to recommit my life and our trajectory and our business plan all around. We want to be the embodiment of what love does, and this business is all about that.
Yeah, beautiful. I love that. Thank you so much. Love is a business strategy. That's one of the things that I took away from the Freedom Fest. I'd never heard of that before, ever. And to have this young person just exude that and command the room to rise up into that was just like nothing I've ever experienced before. Yeah. Incredible. Yeah. So one other question is just around what is your daily life? So now we've gotten all this beautiful stuff that we're talking about, but then there's the day-to-day, right? What does your day-to-day life look like? How do you fit digital marketing into this? And how do you do it as a couple too? What does that look like?
That's a great question.
It is
You
a
want
great
to take
question.
it there.
I was going to say it's changed a lot because our children are home now.
Right. Yes. And so it is what it is. And everyone else is in the same boat, right?
Yeah.
I feel like, though, we were well prepared for this, even though our kids were going to this Waldorf charter school, so it means that the school had them for the day. The fact that we do all of our work from home, even my music studio where I teach out of is at home.
Yeah.
You've been doing this business from home. I've been assisting you with the business. We're used to being in an online world. We've been prepared for this moment. You know, now we're juggling the kids being home, but we're learning.
Yeah, we're learning how to fit in all of, because I had a pretty good rhythm going until now, until now that they're home.
We have to reframe, right?
Well, when it's a quiet household, it's easy to meditate and to visualize and to write down your goals and to do a few posts and do your marketing within like a couple hours and you're done. But when you're like breaking up arguments and
there's arguments
and I'm hungry. Well, you just ate 30 minutes ago, but I'm hungry again. All right, well, go make yourself a second breakfast.
Right. So you have typical challenges, right?
It's
like
life.
It's just
life.
real world.
Weaving in and out of that for sure. So, I mean, just the past few days, because we still were getting adjusted from being back from Australia, which took like a week to even just get back adjusted. I still am not 100% adjusted yet.
Australia turned you into a night owl again.
It did. It's hard. Like I'm having really hard time going to sleep at night and then waking up in the morning. But when I wake up, I immediately go into my gratitude practice really before I even open my eyes. I just feel grateful for the bed I'm sleeping in. I feel grateful that I have Matthew next to me. I feel grateful for the house over our head. I feel grateful for our children that are sleeping in the room next to us. I feel grateful for the breakfast that we're going to have. I just start thinking about all the different things that I feel gratitude for. And then it depends, but there's a meditation that we do, a visualization meditation that we do daily. And so I try to do that also before I get out of bed. Sometimes that doesn't happen that way, but I just try to fit it in whenever. Lately, I've been lighting candles, and before I write down in my journal, I'm just writing candles and giving thanks for all the abundance that's in our lives, and just feeling such gratitude in my heart, and just giving thanks to the universe. And then I'll write in my journal, just thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll give more gratitude, and then just start saying some I know statements. Like I know that our business is, well, I first say like, I know my name's Elizabeth Metter. I know that I have 3 children. I know we live in California. And then I'll write some I knows that I'm visualizing for the future. Like, I know that in this business, we are having 4 new team members joining us within the next 2 weeks. And we're so excited to welcome them into our team. So,
and she's really good at manifesting, man. That's one thing I've noticed in 14 years. She manifests.
I feel like one of the reasons that we've gone so fast in this business is because of my manifestation.
The visualization.
Like my visualizations and what I put out there, it really comes true. I feel like if you do it daily and it's a daily practice and you really feel it in your heart and you know that it's happening, then the universe hears you.
Yeah, kind of. If we're a band, she's the lead singer and I'm the drummer, man. I get to hold the beat down. I get to do some pretty cool fills, but she's the lead singer, and it's cool. I love it, man. You know, and I'm you know, I still have my music business that I'm doing, but really, if I look at the hours, it's like a part-time job, and I get to spend much more time on this business. You know, and there's that ideal morning where I love the idea of waking up in gratitude to really feel, because if you can't be grateful for what you already have, even if it's the smallest, simplest thing, you're not leaving yourself open for what could be and what's waiting for you. Like if it's just like, oh, if only I had that, if only we had that, then we'd be happy. That is a recipe for misery. Right. Because you'll get that thing, and then the next day you'll wake up and you'll have a whole new list of what you need to be happy. That is a recipe for misery. So I love this idea of starting where you are and like, oh, I'm so great. And you can't say the words, you have to feel them. I love that. Mm-hmm. Yep. So by the time we reach out to some of the prospects, the people who want to come in the business with us, the people who are like, hey, I don't know about my job. I don't know if I want to go back to my work now that I'm working from home. There's so many people, Kristen, right now who are like, this being at home's not so bad.
Right.
And how can I work on my own terms? How can I be more available to my family? Even when my kids are arguing and fighting over breakfast, I'll take that over being away from them for 10 hours a day.
Right.
Most people will
5 days a week. Yeah.
5 days, sometimes even 6 days on when you have to burn through a project. So people are thinking, man, how can I do this? And we have this system that is made for this era.
Yes.
So by the time we've done our gratitude work, our meditation, I feel like we're ready to communicate with some of these prospects and these people who want to have a business like this as well. And so we can come to them not through a space of, oh, you got to come in, but hey, here's what we have. And if it resonates with you, come on in.
Yeah.
We don't have to push anything because it's so good. It's so transforming that if you get it, just a small part, you're going to get it.
Yeah.
And then as it rolls and you really understand how it works, you're like, this is unbelievable. How
Yeah.
good it is.
Yeah. Everyone says that. I know. Yeah. It's amazing. It's amazing. Well, gosh, thank you so much, both of you. This was so inspiring. I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot that I'm going to start implementing as well. That things that I thought I knew already, and oh yeah, here's a little different angle. So we keep learning, don't we?
We need reinforcement, Kristen.
Yeah.
That's the thing is, we've talked about the business, we've talked about the opportunity, being online, being at home. But can I tell you something like this conversation, Kristen, that we're having right now? Multiply that by thousands. These are the conversations we have every day with our team.
Yeah.
Right? The
Totally.
tribe, this tribe that we're in is unlike anything. And I've worked with some top level people in music and art and education and business. This is the best caliber of human beings ever.
It's
ever.
unbelievable.
With no
hard to believe.
nothing that's even a close second.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about this is our community.
Yeah. People who really want to be of service and who want to allow themselves to unfold in a beautiful way. Yeah.
And that financial abundance is a part of that algorithm or that equation. Like you can't be spiritual and transcendent in your view of life and all about family, but then be poor. It doesn't work. Or you can't be
sustainable.
Materially wealthy, but have no relationships and have no spiritual personal development. That's an empty void too. They're both empty. You have to have both. It's not complete without abundance, financial abundance, and spiritual abundance. They work hand in hand.
Yeah, that's a great thing to leave people with, I think. So thank you again. I so appreciate it. You're both beautiful, amazing people, and such a blessing for me to get to know you.
Yeah, likewise.
Likewise.
Yeah. All right. Take care.
All right, you too. See you soon.
Bye.